All right, everybody. Good evening. Meteorologist Alex Carter with you in the Fox 54 Digital Weather Center for another edition of Weather Aware Live. And tonight, again, discussing a variety of topics, but the tropics, not going to be as much of our discussion. Things finally clearing up in that department. I think the rest of the month is also going to stay pretty quiet. You might see one, maybe two named storms that add on to Aaron, but none of those are threats to the United States, especially here in the CSRA. So again, as we head through the month of August, if we can get through one of the core months of hurricane season unscathed, it's looking good, and that will be the case more than likely this time around. Going to flip the camera just a little bit, at least lower it over this way. Good deal. That's almost good to go, and we'll go ahead and get started. So let us know where you're listening from. I love to see your comments, and we'll go ahead and check those as well as y'all are filtering in tonight. The tropics not going to be as big of a part of our discussion, again, because we are expecting a pretty quiet pattern through the remainder of the month. This is more about the rain that's moving in, and I do believe that we will get a decent amount coming in over the next little bit. So let's go ahead and show you a few things here. I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to the tropical view. We're going to knock out the tropics just because there's not much to it. This is Hurricane Aaron. It's Category 2 hurricane, and it's not that impressive anymore. I can point to it. There it is. Look at how the left side, the left quadrant of the storm, just how it's dissolving. Some of that dry air is moving into the middle of it, weakening it a good bit as it's pushing out to sea. It's also going to be entering the cooler shelf waters of the Labrador Current, and so Aaron is about to collapse. By the weekend, it will be a tropical storm. As for what is next in the tropics, you might have heard about this one. This is a tropical wave. You see this whole fancy Invest 90L. I can't stand those names, to be honest with you. I just don't like them that much. I get it. We're just trying to classify it as something, but who knows what an invest is? I didn't when I was in school. An invest is just an area to watch that could become our next named storm. Okay, so you've heard my rant about that. But this is what could be a tropical storm Fernand. And Fernand will be moving out to sea, and you'll see that here. Look at that. It's going to curl out, and it's not even going to get quite as close to the U.S. East Coast as Aaron did. So this is no worry for us. We're not worried about any system in the tropics right now. So again, staying on the good side of things for the rest of the month of August. We'll have to see about September. Still a little too early to tell what the future holds there. As for temperatures now, mid to upper 70s out there. So if you're just joining us, good evening. We are here for Weather Aware Live. Not too much going on tonight. Pretty quiet when it comes to our rainfall past early this afternoon. In fact, much of our rain actually happened in the first part of the afternoon, not as much during the evening hours. We'll take it. We're getting to have our cake and eat it too a little bit. It's been pretty quiet, at least during the evening hours tonight. But again, if you're just joining us, good evening. Another edition of Weather Aware Live here. Most of the rain sits just west of us, and this is where we've seen some minor flooding. You look at the rainfall in Tolliver County, and even Warren County and Wilkes County. So these three, if you're in Washington, Crawfordville, Mayfield, Norwood, Norris, Warrenton, it's just off and on light to steady rain. Let's check the lightning here. And you see that cell producing pretty good amount of thunder in Crawfordville. A lot of the area, though, still staying dry tonight. And you look at McCormick and Edgefield. This is where we're seeing some along Pleasant Lane. Heavy thunderstorms in Saluda, Abbeville counties right now, and Greenwood County. And that's all staying up to the north. But let's check these trends. Again, we've seen some trends that could suggest our Georgia counties tonight are going to see more rainfall later this evening. And you see that trend west. A lot of these showers and storms are slowly moving back into the picture here. So we're going to have to watch that tonight. I do think we're going to see a little bit more rain this evening, like we were talking about on Fox 54 News at 5 and 6:30. We're not done with the rain just yet, but we have gotten a nice breather from it. Some of that is moving back in once again tonight, and it could stay with us through the early overnight hours. So you see it there, even into as late as midnight, 1, 2, potentially 3 a.m., we're dealing with some scattered showers with a few rumbles of thunder mixed in. By 6 a.m., rain's pretty much done. and then we're going to do this all over again, but we're going to ramp it up a notch for your Friday. Okay, so Friday is looking pretty wet, and so are the next few days, might I add. Look at that. Friday, scattered heavy thunderstorms. We're expecting those. And with these thunderstorms, I do think we're going to get anywhere from a half an inch to maybe 3 inches of rain in some isolated pockets. So if you're watching us and you're wondering, well, is it going to wash out my plans on Friday? More than likely, we're going to have some disruptions, and that's just a part of it. Unfortunately, I wish that was not the case, but the rain is coming in. We do have a flood watch as well. This flood watch starts Friday morning, and it runs all the way into 2 a.m. Sunday. So tomorrow morning's when the flood watch begins, and it runs all the way through much of the weekend. Anywhere from, again, a half an inch to 3 inches of rain is going to be possible. You look at some of these model data outputs that this is saying the rainfall from Friday at 6 a.m., or 4 a.m., I should say, to Sunday at 2 p.m. We're expecting anywhere from, say, a half an inch of rain to 2.5 inches in most spots. A few areas could get a little less than that. I'm very doubtful on that solution, and you'll see what I'm talking about in the future cast. It doesn't have Friday quite as strong. I tend to disagree. I think we're going to have a lot of rain on Friday. Look at that there, okay? So it has a lot of the thunderstorm placement on the South Carolina side of the river for tomorrow. This is why you don't pay attention to models, at least each run, and think of it as the gospel truth. That's just not how this thing works. Okay, so this is not what we're expecting to play out. I think the rain's going to be more evenly distributed. Lots of places tomorrow are going to see heavy thunderstorms. Some of this will really pile up on the roadways. We could see some flash flooding. I think if we're going to see flash flooding, that's going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen as much on Saturday and Sunday. I think Friday is the day where we have that most tremendous flood threat. You know, we're not in a drought anymore. We were going into this month, we needed the rain. Boy, has that changed. You see the drought monitor outlook going into, tomorrow, and or the flash flood potential, and that shows you that flash flooding is possible tomorrow. So I want you to be aware of that. As yours on Saturday and Sunday and Monday, obviously Monday is going to be dry. Sunday we're not going to see as much rain, and I don't think we're going to see a whole lot past Saturday afternoon. Okay, so tomorrow afternoon to Saturday afternoon, that's your biggest window for showers and thunderstorms. Friday's rain is going to be heavy, and it's going to be storms, too. We could have some wind gusts because of some of these downburst winds tomorrow. I'm going to be watching for that because when you have all this moisture in the atmosphere, that can really start to create some of those thunderstorms. I'm going to go ahead and put this out a little bit further back, and let's go ahead and paint this for the afternoon. Okay, so again, we were just talking about this earlier. You see the thunderstorm activity. Might not be confined to just the South Carolina side of the river. It's probably going to be on the Georgia side as well. We get to Friday evening, more of the same. Showers and thunderstorms with some heavy rain, frequent lightning, and gusty winds. And then as we get into Friday night to Saturday, this turns more so into off and on light to moderate rain with overcast conditions. And this is not atypical for us whatsoever. Not out of the ordinary. It's going to be more of a light rain, and it's going to be cloudy all day. So temperature is probably going to stay near 80. It's going to be cooler, not going to be a whole lot on the board out there. And Saturday night, it keeps going. Your rain chances are high this weekend, so keep the rain gear on you for all intensive purposes. This is going to be one of those weekends that's messy, and it's maybe not the best to get out in, but you have to fight through it anyway, right? And that's what we're all going to do. Let's go to Sunday. So this is the Sunday output. And you see how there's just not much there? Watch Sunday here. I'm not very impressed with what we're seeing on Sunday. Just very light scattered showers. Still got a 40% chance locked in there. But once we get past Sunday into Monday morning, it is about to clear out. It's about to be gorgeous out there. So do not cancel your plans Sunday. I think Sunday is going to be the best day to do things this weekend. That's without the shadow of a doubt. So looking forward to at least better weather. Patricia in Norwood, good evening. Patricia, we are looking at heavy rain in your area starting tomorrow afternoon and evening. You're going to see heavy rain tonight as well. and we're going to see light to steady rain on Saturday. So wet weather these next few days, that's for sure. And, I'm seeing that there. That's why. Okay. See, we've been having this problem where the same caption on these Facebook Lives has been going on. And I'm going to edit that here. Changing that title, that might be the reason why nobody has seen this as because that's funny. Okay, there we go. Patricia, yes, you're going to hear rumbles of thunder for the next little bit. Simply put, we've got some thunderstorms that are moving in and some heavy rain out there. So that's enough about the weekend for now. I'm going to leave you guys with a last look at radar, what we're tracking, headed into Fox 54 News at 10 tonight. And it's all this rain, and it's starting to move back into the CSRA. So over the last 30 minutes, you see the radar trends. A lot of this is now pushing east. If you're in the Augusta Metro tonight, probably not done with the rain. Many of us in the CSRA still have a ways to go with the rainfall tonight. I think the highest chances are going to be north of I-20 and on the Georgia side of the river. So very high for Evans, Appling, Thompson, Washington, Crawfordville. Louisville, Waynesboro, Augusta, Gibson, Swainsboro, Millen, you still have a fair chance for the rest of this evening. So that's the latest here on Weather Aware Live. Obviously, we've got a lot to talk about over the days ahead. Much more on some lower humidity is coming up tonight at 10 o'clock. Behind all of this rain lies a very favorable pattern for us. You'll see it here. Dew points through Sunday and Monday, not that great. Then look at that, just dropping like a rock. I think we're going to see some really nice weather. You look at the rain chances, very supportive of a pretty dry, mellow week. Here in the CSRA next week, 30% might even be a bit much on Thursday. So it's something we'll keep an eye on, but I do think next week is lower humidity. It's sunny, it's dry, and there's that front next week. Look at that. So you see the fishbowl of dry air over the CSRA, and it's just going to kind of keep going on. Mid to upper 80s most of next week. Lows in the mid 60s, by the way. Going to feel really nice out there. And Wednesday into Thursday could stay mostly dry. We'll have to keep our eyes on that. But at least Monday and Tuesday, I'm anticipating dry weather, if not all of Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even Friday as well. So that's the latest edition of Weather Aware Live. We'll have much more tracking some of those showers and storms and previewing tomorrow coming up in just a few minutes here on Fox 54 News at 10 and 11. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you very soon.